Bobbi Kristina Brown, the daughter of the late, great, legendary Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown, has died, aged 22, in an Atlanta area hospice nearly 6 months after she was found unconscious in her Georgia home. She never regained consciousness to explain what happened before she was found January 31st face down and unresponsive in her bathtub. It's hard to say goodbye on Saturday 26th. Bobbi Kristina Brown made her transition peacefully, said a statement posted on Whitney Houston's Facebook page. The family thanks everyone for their loving thoughts and prayers. As Bobbi Kristina would say, the wind is behind me and the sun is in my face. She's finally at peace in the arms of God, the Houston family told US Today in a statement. We want to again thank everyone for their tremendous amount of love and support during these last few months. She had spent the last months in 2 Atlanta hospitals, a medical rehab facility and a hospice, much of the time in an induced coma on life support. Her Houston family relatives announced last month that she had been transferred to a hospice, a move usually reserved for end-of-life care. Despite the great medical care of numerous facilities, Bobbi Kristina Brown's condition has continued to deteriorate, said a statement signed by Pat Houston, Bobbi Kristina's aunt, executor of Whitney's estate. As of today, she has been moved into hospice care. We thank everybody for their support and prayers. She's in God's hands now. By the afternoon of June 25th, police and media cars and vans were seen parked outside a hospice as her family, including Father Bobby Brown and Pat Houston, gathered by her bedside. Her death, coming 3 years after her mother's eerily similar demise, marks a double tragedy, one of the most heartbreaking in the celebrity world. Chrissy, as she was known, was found by her living boyfriend, Nick Gordon, and their friend Max Lomax, face down and unconscious in the bathtub at her Roswell home. Lisa Holland, a spokeswoman for the Roswell Police Department, said Brown was given cardiac resuscitation until rescuers arrived. A police statement said Gordon started CPR and the police officer took over life-saving measures until an ambulance arrived. It is not clear what happened to her or why. Police have been investigating the circumstances but have not announced their findings nor charged anyone with anything. In late June, Fulton County District Attorney Paul Howard said he had the police case file and was receiving it with great interest given the move to hospice. Meanwhile, the conservator for Bobbi Kristina filed a lawsuit against Gordon, accusing him of beating her up the day she was found and stealing $11,000 from her account afterwards. Bobbi Kristina was unresponsive when discovered and remained so. She turned 22 on March 3, 2015, still unconscious. She was taken to the North Fulton Hospital in Atlanta and later was transferred to Emory University Hospital. She was placed in an induced coma and kept on a ventilator as her family gathered at her bedside. In March, she was transferred to a nearby medical rehabilitation facility, but her condition remained unchanged, according to her grandmother, gospel great Sissy Houston. She said doctors told her Bobbi Kristina had suffered global and irreversible brain damage and her condition remained unchangeable despite intensive treatment. Although much of what happened before she was found remains murky, it's known that she was in a car crash 4 days before. She was driving with a friend in Roswell when her Jeep Liberty blew her tire and she lost control, causing her to cross into oncoming traffic and collide with another vehicle. Her friend and the driver of the other vehicle was hospitalized with serious injuries. Bobbi Kristina's tragedy echoed the circumstances of Whitney Houston's tragedy. The 48-year-old former superstar was found dead in a bathtub at the Beverly Hilton Hotel in February 11, 2012. Authorities examining Houston's death found a dozen prescription drug bottles in the hotel's suite. They concluded that Houston accidentally drowned. Heart disease and cocaine use were listed as contributing factors in her death. The 48-year-old singer had been struggling for years with cocaine, marijuana, and pills, and her behavior had become erratic. Daughter Christine butted heads with family members after her mother's death about her inheritance, her relationship, and other disagreements. and often tweeted about missing her mummy. Often seen as headstrong and determined to make up her own mind in the music world, Chrissy, who was born in Livingston, New Jersey, grew up with two parents who battled demons, including drugs and alcohol, during a 14-year marriage which ended in 2007. Their stormy union was documented in 2005 Bravo TV reality series Being Bobbi Brown. Chrissy then went on to be shown drinking on camera during the filming of the 2012 Lifetime special The Houstons on her own. At this time, Pat Houston told Barbara Walters there was nothing wrong with it. Cameras have been following her since she was born. It's not exploitation of any kind. In 2013, Chrissy Houston addressed how her daughter's death continued to adversely affect her granddaughter. Of course I worry about her, Sissy told People. It doesn't mean that she's going to follow her mother's same path. She could, but anyone could. I don't want to jinx her. I'm trying to make sure she doesn't. While living in Atlanta with Gordon, Chrissy had more troubles. In 2013, the two were evicted from her apartment after multiple noise complaints from the neighbors. Last year, Bobbi Kristina launched an angry Twitter rant against director Angela Bassett for not including her in Whitney buyout for Lifetime. Chrissy was in the lobby of the Beverly Hilton when word came about that her mother had died upstairs.